Hey, thanks for joining me today. Listen, I want to give you one of my final tips in terms of tuning into your own divine guidance. So, this is tip number 5. And today I want to talk about how do you know that what you're getting, that the messages you're getting are the ones you should be listening to, right? How do you trust that voice that you're hearing? Once your intuition becomes more aligned with, your truth and what you are hearing and what you are feeling is true. The next step, as I described in the other videos, is that you are able to hear voices from the outside too, right? It's all connected. And you can do that through the exercises I offered, in terms of getting messages and starting to practice. But how do you know when those voices are the ones you want to hear, the ones you want to be listening to? How do you trust that what you're getting is the best for you? Well, first of all, I want to say that no matter what message you get, you have to, yes, I'm saying it like pointing a finger, you have to trust your own personal sense of whether you should listen to that voice or not. I mean, that's right away. We don't have to do everything this voice, the universe, source, whatever you want to call it, divine intelligence tells us to do. Free choice, free will is the most important thing to remember when you're offering readings to people and when you're doing readings for yourself or getting messages. It's really important. And when I mean readings, I mean using tarot cards or oracle cards or whatever you use. Pendulum. Remember, first rule, free choice, free will. Okay, so you don't always have to do everything you're being told to do. All of the advice, including the advice I give you if you come to me for a reading. The second thing that's really important, and this is the biggest thing and maybe the only thing you need to know, messages coming from the universe are only and solely going to be about love. I mean that with everything in my heart that I know and through all of my experience, not just because of the channeling I do, but also because I have had 2 mentors in my life who were wonderful channels. And this was their truth too. And I felt that from them, and I know that. And I know that from myself, and I knew that from them. So I want to remind you that messages coming through are going to be positive. It's not to say that occasionally you're not going to get, a warning or something that would describe, something could go badly for you, right? I mean, it's not all, life's full of challenges. So when I say, positive messages, I don't mean everything is just going to be, oh, you'll win the lottery or life's great and, you'll always get what you want. I don't mean that. I don't mean just to be happy. What I mean realistically is that if you're getting messages that are really negative, really, how do I want to say it? Like so filled with mistrust and hate, and it points toward not, really, and I'm going to say this again, not trusting people, not if it's the opposite of compassion, if it's the opposite of love, if it's the opposite of a benevolence, of gratitude and generosity, then the messages you're getting need to be put aside. And if that's happening to you, then really you probably need to take a step back and ask yourself where you're at. What energy are you wanting to bring in? Because I will say from doing the Ouija board that energy, that negative energy is out there. Ouija board is one of those places where one can really feel that. the most. That's been my experience, because my experience is that there are a lot of lost souls that can come through there, and they don't always have our best interest at heart. So I just want to leave you with the understanding that when you are looking for divine guidance, when you are seeking messages from the universe, when you are going to source, whether that's through what you hear, the visions you get, automatic writing, whatever way that comes through for you, it's really important that you understand that what is coming through is always for your best self, or for the best self of others, right? It's about elevating ourselves to love. It's no different than being in a relationship with a person, an intimate relationship with a person. And I've had this experience, and maybe you have too, where you're with somebody and they're telling you that they love you and you want to be loved. And yet whenever you're with them, you feel unsupported. You feel like you're not seen. You feel like you're not heard. And you leave not feeling so good about yourself. You leave their company feeling less about yourself, right? We do that to ourselves sometimes, but it's not to our benefit to be in relationships like that. Okay, it's no different when you have a relationship with the universe, source, your guidance. It's no different. If you leave that conversation or leave those messages feeling worse, feeling less trusting, less hopeful, less about faith, less about love, then take a step back and tune in back to your own intuition and what you want before you go to source. Because those messages are not really what source is about. The truth of our lives has always been about love. It's always about joy. It's always about elevating ourselves to a better place, to a place where we are happier, a place where we know ourselves better. It is about this. It's not about this. It's not about feeling constricted. It's not about lowering our vibration. It's always about elevating our vibration so we can do better for ourselves. We make better choices, and therefore we are better for other people, right? And the world at large. All right, thanks for tuning in today. If you have comments, questions, please leave them for me. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. And you can find me on Facebook and Instagram. And of course, my live readings Monday at 2:30 on Facebook, free. And that would be Pacific Standard Time. All right, love, bye.